Yo, welcome to a new edition of the Speaker Geeker Podcast. I'm your host, Steve-O Steve, and I'm here with my brethren, my blood clot Rastafarians. Boom! Tommy T and G. Yo, these are my ski mask partners. That's one of them, ski mask partners. People you want to run up in a bank, you be with? Ski mask partners. But we ain't run up in no banks because we got lives to live. We got other stuff.
We got families to take care of.
But on Halloween, we'll run around with ski masks and give kids candies and stuff. I don't know what I'm gonna do this Halloween, but we're gonna get to Halloween when Halloween comes. But we had a great episode for y'all today. Today we are gonna be discussing something that came up when we had our interview with Ola. If you didn't see that one, go back and check that one out, man. It was a great interview, long episode, super cool. Shout outs to him, shout outs to O. But he brought up the situation of characters in the music business. Specifically, we talked about characters in hip hop. So we'll be discussing characters in hip hop, and we'll be going through that. It's going to be a fun discussion. We also, in the news with Tommy T, we got a lot going on here, man. We're going to talk about swallowing weed sacks at a traffic stop. Yeah. And much more.
Let that sit.
Let that sit in. And we're going to also be getting in our top 5 for the week. That was in our speakers with G, of course. And yeah, we're going to let the fun begin. So if y'all are checking us out on the YouTube, on the official Speaker Geeker Podcast YouTube page, or the 3Amp Media YouTube page, please, there's a bell there. Subscribe. You won't miss anything we got going. Also, if you are checking us out on your favorite podcast platforms, whether it's Apple or it's Spotify or it's Anchor or Beezer or any of those out there in the world, please subscribe and give us a review, and also so that you don't miss anything we got going on. We'd love to hear from you, so definitely comment. Be looking out for the question of the day. It's going to be somewhere in here. I'm sure it'll pop up soon. And yeah, without further ado, let's get started. Yo, guys,
what's happening?
How week been, man?
Man, the week's been good, man.
Yeah,
can't complain about the week.
I ain't mad at all, man. I'm not mad at all.
That's what's up. Hey, so as a teacher, and you're off during the summer, what do you do, G? Like,
well, I'm not a teacher.
That's right. I was trying to say I have to correct that. I was like, technically, you're not.
Because I was gonna say they do different stuff than what I do. Because they be doing like side jobs, doing like tutoring and stuff like that sometimes.
Gotcha.
Me, shit, I don't do anything at all, honestly. I just kind of sit at the house because the wedding is coming up. We've been doing a lot of that stuff. But that's pretty much it. I just try to catch up on stuff that I wasn't able to do during the school year. Normally, it's just like visiting family and making sure we done made all the house adjustments and shit that we be wanting to do that we don't have time to do during the school year.
Gotcha.
That's pretty much
what's up. That's what's up. That's pretty cool. I always wonder. I was like, man, it would be nice to be just completely off. You know?
Yeah. But it's just like when you have a Saturday and you've been working like all week and you get a Saturday and you know you got to go to the grocery store. You got to do all this other extra shit you couldn't do during the week.
Yeah.
That stuff build up over the year. And it's actually a whole lot of shit you probably wanted to do that you still ain't done. So it's like, it just becomes a to-do list and you just start, oh, damn, I actually got time to do this now. And so you start doing it. And then by the time school starts back up, you good. And you get to let it build up for another year.
Gotcha. That's what's up. Tell me, T.
What's up, brother?
Man, you cook anything this weekend?
Nah, man. I was, what did I do this weekend, man? I ain't do anything. Did a little couple recordings. Worked on a few things here at the house. Other than that, man, I was just chilling.
Word.
Watched the movie.
Okay. What movie?
The Hunt.
Oh.
Y'all ever seen that movie?
How was that one? Because I ain't watched it yet.
That movie, it's crazy. It's enjoyable, but it's crazy as hell. It's like, I like those movies that you be like, could this really happen?
Yeah.
And it's one of those movies, man. It's crazy as I don't know what.
Gotcha.
Yeah. What's it about?
It's about basically elites are hunting people
Damn.
Basically, like, I don't want to give too much away for people that want to see it and everything, but that's essentially what it's about.
Okay.
And throughout the whole thing, I was like, I don't think people would hunt people, but is that really far fetched? You know, but because they had like I read somewhere they had like a fight, like Fight Clubs are real.
Yeah, like underground little fight thing.
Yeah, but like in the movie when they were hunting the people, were they eating them?
Nah, they wasn't eating. They wasn't.
No, they was just they was just hunting them just for sport.
Like for sport, yeah.
Kind of like a mercenary.
Yeah, kind of. It's like you.
Okay.
It's crazy, bro.
I can see that happening actually.
Like it's like, is it really far fetched? You know?
Yeah, that's interesting.
No,
we want to say no. Like,
somebody do that shit.
No, I don't believe anybody does that, but
someone somewhere over the rainbow.
Somebody do it.
Yeah, somewhere. I know. Word, man. I keep wanting to get a new grill, but my wife keeps saying, "You have a gas one. Why you want two?" Because I need the charcoal.
Because you want a charcoal one.
Yeah, so I might do that, but I don't know. But
man, you should have got one that had charcoal and gas on it.
Man, yeah, but at the time it was a 4th of July and we was kind of like rushing. It was like last year.
Yeah,
it was like she wanted grill food and they ain't had no more charcoals. And it was like,
but you can get the grill flavor in the I'm not a propane guy. They have a smoke box you can put. Yeah, that's it.
That's what I was things in.
Yeah,
and so you can kind of do it. So it's a way to do it, but I don't know. I might try it. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah. So let's do it, man. Let's since we've gotten to our weeks and our weeks seem to be going very well. I'm sure there's a lot of music infused in that week. So, let's hop into it, man.
Man, okay, let's jump right into it, man. As y'all know, we have done a revamping of the What's in Your Speaker section of this show. And so what we're doing is we contributing to the Speaker Geekers weekly playlist. And so that's on Apple Music. You can look up a Speaker Geekers playlist, and then on Spotify, what is it called? On Spotify, it's just called Speaker Geekers Podcast Weekly. All right. And so these songs can be found there. You can vibe out with us. I'm going to start it off, man. This week, the thing I was looking forward to the most, my nigga Vince Staples came out with a new project. The title of the project is just Vince Staples. It's a self-titled project. He got 3 songs on the playlist from me this week. And so that's Sundown Town, which is fucking amazing. I like the fucking... I like the name, like just using Sundown Town because we know the history of sundown towns. I like that. And he put a little twist on it. Then he got a song called The Shining. And then there's also a song called Mm-hmm. So it's like MHM. Mm-hmm. So definitely check them out. And if you like them, continue on and go check out the album. I found this other artist. This guy's name is Jody Somerville. And the way that I found him was kind of cool. This is Slicker Flex. So like, I made, like on Apple Music, you can take a song or artist and you can make a radio station based on that song or that artist. And so what I did was I actually took myself as an artist and made myself a radio station to see what kind of shit would be played. So I was like, who the fuck does Apple think sound like Greg? And so I went on there and they made a playlist, and this song stood out the most to me. It's called Be Thankful by Jody Somerville. And it's really just... he did like a re-recording of, I can't even remember the name of the song, but whatever the name of the song is, where a nigga be like, diamond in the back, sun rooftop, digging, sing with gangsta link, gangsta white walls. Like, he redid that, and it's like, it's updated, like for, I guess, the 2020s and shit. It sounds fucking amazing. All I got to say is go check that shit out to give you that old school feel. You're going to love it. And just staying on that, like I said, I had made my own radio station. And on that radio station, of course, Acronym Music had to come up, man. And so we had one of our songs. It's called Forbidden Love. I encourage y'all to go check that junk out. That's off of the album consumption. After that, we got 3 honorable mentions that I got from Allison, my fiance. She went ahead and provided us with a couple of songs of her own. The first one is Bust It by Dreamville and Ari Lennox, because that song, I'm telling you, it be playing all the fucking time. She was in the door her hair this week, and it was just like, I kept hearing Bust It playing on the speaker. And then also Sativa by Jhené Aiko featuring Sway Lee. That's literally her favorite fucking song. Like, it's literally what she always listens to. And then right now, of course, her one of her songs is Thought Shit by Megan Thee Stallion. And so they'll be playing all the time. You know, you get on fucking TikTok or whatever, and they got dances and shit and little skits or whatever, and that's always playing in the background.
Yeah.
So that wraps it up for this household over here. Let's shoot it over to Steve, because Steve, you came in next in the lineup of the playlist. So go ahead and tell us your 5 songs for the week, man.
Word. So I have 5 songs for the week. I didn't put any honorable mentions because they would have been all Vince Staples, and I knew G was going to come with all Vince Staples.
Smart.
Yo, because The Shining is my record. Like, I love the twist on that. And then there's another record on there. What's the one trip? The Traveling Trip? What is it called?
Take a Trip. Yeah, Take a Trip.
And a few others. But man, that Vince Staples is dope. Very great album. That was one of the albums that I did check out this week with a few others. So now my top 5, the first one on the list is Nas. Nas Is Coming. This is off the It Was Written album. So they released an expanded edition of it, of this album, in which it was pretty cool to hear this album again. And, you know, this is Nas's classic, you know. So it was a great album. But one of those songs that I always liked from there was Nas Is Coming. So you get a chance, man, go check that out. You want to hear Nas spitting and talking his stuff, then that's the record to listen to. Nas Is Coming off of It Was Written. From there, Maria the Scientist, man. I'm just gonna say it, man. I want to say it's Riri World, or is it Rai World? But RI World, whatever it is, I'm gonna say Riri. But you know, yo, I love this album. It was smooth. It was easy to listen to. It's got a lot of different like records. Everything. It's a lot on there for everyone. One of the records that stood out to me was called Brain. And when you listen to it, you'll see why. Man, it's a great record, man. I enjoy it. If you ain't heard of Maria the Scientist, go check out Maria the Scientist. From there, I was on my Nipsey Hussle tip. So I was listening to Mailbox Money. If you haven't heard that, that was one of Nipsey's mixtapes from a little while back. Yeah, it's a mixtape. I want to say that Nipsey's mixtapes are almost like albums.
Yeah.
So sometimes I feel like some of these are like some of his first albums, but Victory Lap was his first official album. But, you know, Mailbox Money was an incredible mixtape. One song that I always enjoy, it was called A Miracle. Go check that one out. It's just Nipsey, man. Nipsey just the great artist that he was, and what he put in his music, man. You'll see why, just how, you know, it's all the motivation he put in there. So go check that one out off of Mailbox Money. From there, T.I., What You Saying, Tip. Now, this was from an old mixtape, and it was a Gangsta Grills with DJ Drummer and DJ MLK called Fuck a Mixtape. The cool thing about this is it had like Jamie Foxx was on there, Kevin Hart, and all they was talking about was like, fuck a mixtape, you need to do an album. But on here, this was one where I think he was recently like fresh out of jail the first time, and he dropped this fucking mixtape. But man, I enjoyed this one. I was glad. I actually went back and listened to a lot of Tip. Actually, I was listening to The Libra. I was listening to Dime Trap, and then I saw this one. Was like, man, I ain't listened to this one in a minute. And so off of there, man, one of my records that I always enjoyed was What You're Saying, Tip. Plus, it's a lot more on there. So go back and check that out. It's always cool to listen to some old Tip and people that was on there, you know?
Yeah.
From there, man, I was on my Kendrick Lamar tip. I got on Kendrick because I know. Isaiah Rashad released, well, not released. He said he told everyone when his release date would be for his album, which I don't know it at the moment. But what got me on Kendrick was someone in the comments was like, "That's cool, but I'm waiting on Kendrick." And I was like, "Dang!" I was like, "Okay," which we all kind of are. So, you know what? I got on my Kendrick tip. I listened to Good Kid, Mad City. I listened to The Pimp a Butterfly, and I listened to. I didn't get all the way through Damn, but we was driving. I forgot where we were driving to, and I was able to listen to all of those albums in kind of not one setting. I think we drove and I listened to Good Kid, Mad City, and then half of Pimp a Butterfly, and then on the way back I listened to the rest of Pimp a Butterfly, and then I listened to some of Damn. So I think we was probably headed to drop off my son. He was at his aunt's house for the weekend, so that was about an hour away. So I had a good time to listen. But Good Kid, Mad City, man, you go back and listen to the album, just how good it was. And then also listening to Pimp a Butterfly and Damn all like simultaneously, you figure out that, man, dude, just awesome. And yes, we're all waiting. So the last song on my top 5 was one of my favorite songs from Good Kid, Mad City, which is Sing About Me and I'm Dying of Thirst. Man, I love that record like a lot. It was just amazing.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't have no honorable mentions, but a couple other albums that I did check out this week is I checked out this. I was in not the Crown Vic. I used to have a Crown Vic, by the way. I was in the Challenger and I want to hear some beat because I got that big speaker in there. So I took a risk and I hopped on a BFG Strap for President. And by my surprise, I kind of dig it. It's some good features on there, some good producers on here. This is my first time hearing of them. So if y'all know more about BFG Strap, let me know so I can go back and listen to some older stuff. But yeah, I might check them out a little more and get a little more research, but it was pretty cool. From there, I tried to check out, all right, I know I'm a butcher name, but I'm going to try. Is it Snow?
Yeah, Snow Allegra.
Yeah.
Snow Allegra. I heard a lot about this album. I heard it was dope. I heard it was really good. Temporary Highs and the Violet. I have to listen to it again because I'm gonna be honest. First listen, I was like, nah, I'm not digging it. But I will have to go back and listen again because when the homies say they enjoyed this, enjoyed this album, it was riding, then maybe I was just in the wrong setting of listening to it, but it didn't pass the car test because I just went back to Maria the Scientist. I was like, you know what? I'm going back to this. But I'm gonna have to go check it out again, and because I just want to see. All right, am I? Was it just the wrong setting? Let me, in different settings you get different feels. So, other than that, man, it was just some older stuff that I'm not gonna mention because I mention them all the time. So, yeah, that pretty much rounds out my week, man.
All right, man. That's a good week, man. That's a real good week. I'm glad that Mariah the Scientist junk came out because, like, I didn't even know. I had no idea that she had dropped anything. And I know we had talked about her before because my cousin Dama had put me on her.
Yeah.
And I liked the other project that she had out. And so, like, I didn't know this came out, so I'm definitely going to be checking that out. So, throwing it over to Tommy, man. What you got for this week, man?
All right, man. So this week, man, my top 5, man. I was a little bit of everywhere with my top 5. I'm gonna start off with "Just Got Paid" by Johnny Kemp. Okay. Off the album Secrets of Flying. I have I got there from the Keith Sweat and Bobby Brown verses. It's like it kept like going on in my head, and then literally it was Friday and I had just got paid, so it was like I started bumping that joint. So that was one. Yes Indeed by Lil Baby featuring Drake off of Harder Than Ever mixtape. That was the first time that when I heard that mixtape for the first time, it was like, oh, Lil Baby is dope. And then just seeing his growth from then to now, man, it's just amazing. So that's what got me there. Next is Energy from Big Crit. Actually, man, I was just in Tidal and they had it as one of your track radios. And so I clicked on it. It was like, this is a fire song, man. So it's just like I kind of like had that one on repeat while I was doing some work and stuff like that. Successful, Drake and Trey Songz and Lil Wayne off of the So Far Gone mixtape. That was just one of my jams, man. And somehow I think that Successful song was on the Energy playlist. And it just, caught my ear, man. And I was like, oh, I used to have that as a ringtone. That used to be an alarm for me, all type of stuff, man. So, ringing up the real, man, I got Let Me See It by UGK. I went on this little UGK kick. I think it was because one of y'all had put them in the playlist. I can't remember. Yeah. I don't know if it was last week or the week before, but I had went on a little kick, man. UGK, that's off of the Dirty Money album. And I was like, man, these guys right here, like, you miss Pimp C because of what they had, man. And Bun B is dope, but together, it's like the Outkast effect for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think Big Boy is dope, but together, I think they like are an amazing group. So, that's really how I got there, man. Like you guys, I listened to that Vince Staples. Unlike you guys, I ain't saying I ain't like it. I like Vince Staples as a rapper because I think he definitely can rap. It just the album didn't hit me like you guys. I gave it like 2 listens and I was like, all right, cool. That Snow Allegra album, it's in my queue to listen to. I haven't gotten a chance to check it out yet. But the songs that I've been listening, or like the albums I was listening to, I got on a Michael Jackson kick. So I listened to the Jacksons Destiny album, Michael Jackson Off the Wall, Michael Jackson Thriller, the Bad album. It's another album. It's a song. Heartbreak Hotel. I think that's the name of the song. Every time I listen to it, I'd be like, dang, that was somebody remade that song or used the beat or sampled it. I can't remember, like, without playing it, who, did it. But yeah, man, that's my music week, man. That's what I've been listening to, my top 5 and all that good jazz.
That's what's up, man. So it sounds like we got a good playlist again this week, man.
Yeah.
It kind of stretches some everywhere, man. We got going from UGK to Lil Baby to Johnny Kemp to Janae Aiko, like new people that I ain't never heard of. Some Jody Somerville, dude. Like we all over the place this week, man. We got it covered. So people that's listening, man, go check out the playlist. Like I said, you can find it on Apple Music. On Apple Music, it's just called a Speaker Geekers playlist. And then if you go to Spotify, Speaker Geekers Podcast Weekly. But I'm gonna turn it back over to Tommy, man. Let's get into this dude, man.
Let's get into it, man. I want to start kind of keeping it with music for a little second.
Okay.
Obama came out with a summer playlist, and I read it, and I was like, I was like, I like his musical palette. But some of the songs I had no clue who they were. But I'm going to just read it off real quick, man, or try to real quick. We got Pick Up Your Feelings from Jasmine Sullivan, Switch It Up from Protege featuring Coffee, which Coffee is dope. Holding Back the Years, Simply Red, My Sweet Lord, George Harrison, Straightening, Migos, Desperado, Rihanna, Leave the Door Open, Bruno Mars, Anderson .Paak, Silk Sonic. Interlude, Sarah Vaughan, Ella Noes Tuya. It's a remix. Rocky RD, Mike Towers, Nicki Nicole, Tumbling Dice, The Rolling Stones, Astronaut in the Ocean, Max Wolf, Frozen, Sabrina Claudio. If You Really Love Me, Stevie Wonder, Walking, Miles Davis, Exodus. That's a dope song. That's one of my favorites from Bob Marley and the Wailers. And, does anybody really know what time it is? Chicago, Coyote, Johnny Mitchell, Mohab Bat, Arouge. After, I don't know. Didn't you know? Erykah Badu, Allure, Jay-Z. Almost Done, guys. Consequence, Kiki Lee, Everybody Loves the Sunshine Roll airs Ubiquity. So Hard, Nezzy. I'll Be Your Baby Tonight, Bob Dylan. Neighbors, J. Cole. Good Days, SZA. Takes You Back, Brother Sundance, featuring Bryce Vine. You Ain't the Problem, Clapton, Michael. I don't know how you say his last name. Everything Is Never Quite Enough. Wazis Diop. The Tears of a Clown. I've never heard that song. Smokey Robinson and the Miracles. Wants and Needs. Drake featuring Lil Baby. Aguas de Marco, Ellis, Regina, and Antonio Carlos Jobin. It's Way With Me, Wild Oak. I'll Take You There, the Staple Sisters, Find a Way, Her featuring Lil Baby, A Kiss to Build a Dream On, Louis Armstrong, Speak Your Mind, Brandy Carlisle, and Lush Life, Ella Fitzgerald. Dude, President Barack Obama, man, can't do no wrong with me and his musical selections, man. This is a fire playlist to me outside of the people that I don't know. Because I can't give an opinion about it, but like he's known, like I feel like now he's known for having good musical taste. But what's y'all thoughts on this playlist, man? Is that something y'all would bump or?
Yeah, I was about to ask, where can we find it? Because I want to listen to all of it.
I honestly, let's see. Do they say we can find it somewhere? Because I just saw that off of Twitter. Here's a playlist of songs. I don't think it's anywhere specifically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I just find it. I would hope he released it on like Apple Music or
that
something.
would be cool, right?
Yeah. I think I'll check out all those.
Like, I don't see why that wouldn't be a thing, like on Spotify or on Apple Music. It's not on Tidal. I didn't see it on Tidal, but
gotcha. Yeah. Well,
yeah,
I'll take a look
I
for
just
it.
searched his name. I don't see anything for wait, nope, I found it. The summer playlist. It's on Spotify. Barack Obama's 2021 summer playlist.
Yeah.
There we go.
But
Yeah,
he got a reading list too, man.
Well, we'll
I just think
later.
dude is dope, man. Like dude is a great role model for people to look up to, man.
Absolutely. I might walk through the house talking about leave the door open.
Right. What you doing? Where you at?
Michelle, I'm in the kitchen.
Oh, you got plans. Don't say that.
Oh, man.
Oh,
He
man.
got it looks like he has a running list for just 2021 period. When you go on there, he got one that says Barack Obama's favorite music of 2021.
Gotcha.
Yo, I think it's cool that he messed with Lil Baby like that, man. Lil Baby on here like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, I think it's just cool that he embraces the new, the younger generation of music as well as the older generation.
Yeah.
You have a lot of people that don't. They just like, y'all music trash. This is good music. But then you have some people who embrace all. So I think that part is like the awesome part of it all. So
yeah.
No, I'm definitely with that, man. Also, man, Drake, I find it's just the idea of this, right? Drake went on a date with someone with it. I guess is the girl he's dating now or something like that. Like this dude had rented out the Dodgers Stadium, bro. So like for them to just have a date like this, do you not know how much like, first off, that has to cost a lot. Then secondly, it's like, bro, could you imagine taking your wife out to like not telling her where you finna go, but just taking her to an empty stadium to have dinner?
I'll be honest. I wonder if that's really how romantic that really is.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I kind of feel like that's more for us than it is for them. Like, it's just
now that y'all say that
on people who can't do it.
Now that y'all say that. No, I think it's like you know how people go all out for like proposals.
Yeah.
I ain't saying they trying to sit up here and propose to this girl, but I mean, people do that to impress the person, not to encourage the person to say yes. And stuff like that. So I get what y'all saying, how romantic it could be, or who's really you're doing it for, especially in with his status. It's a what is it? A publishing or publicizing gesture. This is how I'm gonna tell everybody we dating or something like that.
Well, I think it was pretty secretive. I think they only figured out they were there because somebody happened to be flying over the stadium.
Yeah.
And that's how they ended, because I think it's only one picture of them like looking up like, someone sees us.
Yeah.
So I don't think it was a publicity stunt or anything. I think it just, I think it was probably a pretty cool private gesture. I just wonder, like, what else did you do? Cause sitting on the baseball field eating dinner. like, did y'all watch a movie there, or on the big screen, or like what else was it? Cause just sitting there in an empty stadium,
dinner, right?
Yeah, it had to be more than just. I mean, it was like it's no baseball game going on. It's just, I don't know.
I honestly wonder how much they cost. Like the cost to do that. Is that something regular people can do? Or you got to be in a certain like price range to actually be like,
you got to know the right people.
Right.
Yeah. I don't think it's as expensive as we think it was. Because if there was no planned game, there was no planned event, the stadium was just there.
Yeah.
It probably wasn't like as like what we think it would possibly be.
Right. Because it sounds like it's expensive to do.
It does, yeah.
I'm going to rent out this whole stadium. Like,
yeah. But renting out a movie theater sounds expensive. And then you find out that it's not. And you're like, oh, that's it? Let's do that. So it might not have been as expensive as it was. Yeah. I just really wonder how, like, what else did y'all do in there? Was like someone was in there and sung for y'all? Like, I would have took it to if I'm gonna rent out something, I'll probably rent out one of the basketball courts, and then we watch a movie on the screen in the basketball court.
But that's not impressive
Since I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan, we could have rented out the Dallas Cowboy Stadium, watched the movie on that screen, and ate dinner, and had a good time. But it looked like they just like sit there.
Yeah, great conversation. But you do stuff like that when you're like first dating. And stuff like that.
Not on the first date.
Not on the first date, but like still trying to like.
That's the equivalent. That's the equivalent of like, all right, our first date, we went to Chili's, and like your first date, you took her to Ruth Chris. Yeah. You're like, goodness gracious, man, how do you top the first date?
That's hard.
You got to keep taking her to Ruth Chris now.
Right.
Yeah, man, you set the precedent when you do that.
Right.
Yeah. It's like, all right, this is what I expect now. So we doing this Dodger Stadium shit, nigga. We gonna have Thanksgiving dinner at the Dallas Cowboys Stadium with my family.
Yeah, at the 50-yard line.
Man, what? It's gonna be a big ass table. Yeah. That's what we doing now.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's crazy. But I just thought that was pretty cool, though. To actually do something like that, and stuff. So. This next thing is like we posted about it during the week, and kind of want to just give her congratulations and like this amazing 14-year-old Black girl from Louisiana. Her name is Zaila Avant-Garde. Like I really like listened to her. Say her name and stuff. Cause I was like, I mess up people's names a lot. And I feel like that's so disrespectful. But I want to give her a congratulations and say it on our platform just it's our platform, one. And, it's deserving. This girl is one amazing person. She won the spelling bee, the first Black person to win the spelling bee. The national, what is it called? Scripps National Spelling Bees, first African-American winner. She won it last Thursday after spelling the word Murraya, Murraya. I would have got that wrong. Looking at it, I'm like, that's spelled wrong anyway. But she did that, and then also come to find out, man, she is a basketball prodigy, and a Guinness World Record holder for 3 times, basically a 3-time Guinness World Record holder. She is cold in basketball. Like I seen the highlight reel of her.
Yeah,
I was like, yeah, she'll definitely beat me. Man, I'm thinking back about my 6th grade tryout. But anyway, most balls juggled in 1 minute with 4 basketballs, most dribbles in 30 seconds with 4 basketballs, and most basketballs dribbled by one person simultaneously, which was 6. Thoughts, man? What's your thoughts, praises, congratulations? What y'all got to say, man?
Man, you done said it all, man. She out there killing it, basically. She's 14 years old. She got 3 Guinness World Records. She's won the National Spelling Bee. I saw the Sports Center interview with her where she was talking about some of her aspirations and goals. One of them was to do gene editing. And I was like, gene editing? Nigga, damn. But she wants to do that. She said she would like to be an NBA coach. And it was like 2 other things that she said as well, but I can't remember because I'm just overwhelmed by the audacity to just want to do so much. And I'm just like, damn, bro, when I was 14, I don't know what the hell I was thinking about doing, but it wasn't breaking Guinness World Records or winning spelling bee. So like, just congrats. Keep doing it, man. Keep going so we can see what else you can achieve, man, because she got the potential to do whatever the hell she want to do.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. It ain't too much else to say besides keep it selling, keep keep climbing that mountain to success, because it's just man, it's just a great thing. It really ain't too much to say that. That's really
it's not. Amazing. I mean, like, it's just amazing.
Yeah, I did want to break a Guinness World Records at that age. That's one thing I did want to do.
Did you? I was just trying to break track records at that age, man. Just trying to get into the nationals, man.
Yeah. But congratulations. Family, keep supporting her. That's amazing. Absolutely.
Yeah. We definitely I always feel like it's a big thing. It's especially when it comes to kids, man. You have to celebrate kids and make sure that they know that, hey, you doing good. I'm proud of you and everything like that. And this is the ultimate I'm proud of you put on her shoulders, just because we all know and are like can associate with the spelling bee. Like, I still remember the word that I got put out on in the spelling bee, and I still have trouble spelling it. I'm not going to tell y'all what word it was, but but we all have been a part of it or know people who's been a part of it. And, we've all seen Akilah and the Bee, but, and I know for a fact that I've got caught up on like watching it on TV every now and again, seeing people like tripping and stuff like that of how they spelling words and stuff. So it's huge, man. It's huge for her and everything like that. So once again, from the Speaker Geekers family, from 3M Media's family, everybody over here, man, we want to say congratulations to Zaila Avant-Garde. Moving on down my list, man, I wanted to point out UConn's star point guard. She the ESPYs was on Saturday. And she won best college athlete in women's sports. But that's not what I want to kind of highlight from her. The 19-year-old in her speech, and I'm gonna read the whole part. She said some other things. She said, thank God, thank her mom and family and everybody, her teammates, for supporting her. But she went on to say, talk about Black women and how underappreciated they were, and how they she's in the fight with him. This is what she said in her speech to Maria Taylor, Robin Roberts, Maya Moore, Odyssey Alexander, to all the incredible Black women in my life and on my teams, to Breonna Taylor and all the lives lost, and to those names who are not yet learned, but I hope to share. I stand behind you and I continue to follow you, follow your lead, and fight for you guys. So I just want to say thank you for everything. That part right there, I feel like was one of the highlights of the ESPYs. I didn't watch the ESPYs, but was one of the big things said, because she used a platform where her being celebrated was the subject, but she took the opportunity and time to say, hey, I'm in this fight with you guys. I may not know everything. I may, it's some things that I do need to learn, but I'm here. And I'm in support of you guys. And I feel like that's going back to the fight and the struggle that we always talk about, which is having the support of other people and not being silent on opportunities that you don't have to be silent on. Like, she didn't have to say any of this, but she did. So I just kind of want to point that out and get y'all thoughts on it, because I know usually y'all think differently from me. So I'm just trying to do a taste test to see what y'all think. So what you got?
G.
Don't everybody speak at once, man.
I mean, no, I'm fine with it. That's her speech. That's her time to say what she want to say. One of the things that's been grinding my gears lately is the fact that people just want people that are in sports to just do sports and not say anything else. Mm-hmm. Sports, that's it. Whatever. So whenever an athlete or someone in sports does stand up and say something, especially in their time to talk, I actually applaud it so much more. And I'm like, yeah, keep it up. Because there's a lot of people out here that don't want y'all to say nothing. They just want y'all to, like they told LeBron, dribble a basketball and shut up, But no, we're more than that. You got to remember that these athletes are people too, Not only that, Black people, Also during the ESPYs, I got to mention this too. You had the first time two Black women wrestle for a title in WWE. Not only that, but they main evented one of the biggest shows, WrestleMania, won an award too.
Did they?
Yeah, they won an award too. So, these Black women are doing extraordinary things, but not only that, they have something to say. The Black woman at the Olympic trials, who everybody done jumped on her back for, they played the national anthem when she was on the podium and just happened to zoom in on her. That, she's an activist athlete is what she put on her shirts. And, people are consistently upset about, they shouldn't, they should just leave, just stay in your lane, play your sport. But nah, man, they're human beings too. And they got a huge platform and they're doing what they feel is right in their heart. And not to mention it's during their time. So for me, I have absolutely no problem with it. Keep it up, keep going. Cause I think it's a great thing. So yeah, that's my take on it.
Yeah. Keep it up. That's all I got to say, man. Like I applaud her doing that. I think it's human nature anyways to, whenever the spotlight is on you, kind of say what's on your mind. This is what you do. Even if you go to Twitter right now and you find any tweet, the first tweet under every viral tweet is a tweet of somebody saying either whatever they're trying to promote or like saying a disclaimer like, bro, I ain't got nothing to promote, just follow me. That kind of thing. Like when people have a platform, they're going to say what's on their mind. And that's what was on her mind. So she said what was on her mind. And I don't think you can be upset with her speaking her mind.
Right.
You know?
No, I just I just found it kind of interesting and hope that to better understand a people or a thing, right? To better understand it, you have to admit that you don't understand it and that you're willing to learn from it. And, the ultimate praise to a person is to say, hey, I'm with you, but I'm trying to, I want to learn from you, and thank you for blazing the way. Because we all understand that Black women has had it the hardest out of anybody in this country, period, because they have to take it from a woman's perspective and then being Black. At one point in time, it was like, hey, we getting this, but then it's still, they're women. It wasn't until recent times women could actually, have leadership positions or was considered for leadership positions, and, for them to be the vessel for us to get here, it's like, it's crazy. And I just kind of wanted to applaud her. Last thing I got for this news segment, man, is it was a video. We all watched this video. Video shows trooper performing like the Heimlich maneuver on a motorist choking on a bag of weed. When I heard this, I couldn't believe that that's what happened, because I was like, I don't know what he got stopped for.
He was speeding on the video.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's what it was. It was, he pulled over in Portage County, Ohio. He basically was going 94 in the 70 mile per hour zone. And he got pulled over, stopped to, like, I guess he just was like, I'm finna chug it. And the bag of weed didn't go all the way down. It got stuck. And so the officer in the video, you see the officer, hey, are you okay? Open the door, get him out, start, immediately doing the Heimlich maneuver. And you see it fall out his mouth. The question that was asked at the end of the video was, is it worth dying? Is a misdemeanor worth dying for? Never been put in a situation like that, first off. Secondly, why speed? And you have an illegal substance in the car. Why cause attention to yourself when you're doing something wrong? And then your fix is to swallow it. That's crazy to me, man. What was y'all thoughts on this whole little thing, man? Shout out to the officer, though.
Yeah, thank you for saving that man, like, because he could have died right there in front of you. But no, just dumb decision. You shouldn't have done it. Like, you shouldn't have tried to swallow it. And I don't even know how big the bag was. It's kind of like a shadowy figure coming out of his mouth when it comes out. But it looked like it was big enough to where you know not to swallow that motherfucker. Right. It's not a pill.
Yeah.
So, like, don't be trying to do that shit. So that's just not a good decision. Don't do that shit.
One of the things I want to know is, all right, what did that was obviously like a state trooper. Yeah. So what did the car look like? Because when you see him zoom past it, he was gone. He was rolling. I was like, you didn't see that? Like, of all the things you could have done, you didn't see this state trooper car, which is normally like, the loudest, weirdest color on the road with big ass lights on the top. But I wonder if it was one of those like undercover ones, what? Nevertheless, why didn't you just open? If you're gonna swallow it, why didn't you open the bag and swallow it that way? Because like G said, that didn't look like no small sack. And I get it. Maybe he thought he was going to poop it out so he can smoke it later. He might have been just a little off, but
He said he was sorry at the end.
He did. He said, I'm sorry. To you? To yourself?
Yeah, you are sorry. But yeah, I mean, Come on, man.
If you the police officer in that instance, what you do? Because I'm letting that money go, and I'm gonna be like, bro, that was your consequence right there. That's all you need.
I think I'm with you. I think I probably would have too, man. Hey, man, just get home safe. All right.
Right.
I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna take this bag over here, and you just go home.
No, you give it back to him. Like I have to. At this point, here you go, man. Remember this.
Oh, you want that sack tough? But, you know, you got the camera on. You got it. Hey, man, look, just.
That's
one,
crazy.
I don't know if I'm gonna touch the bag because that was
I would not touch that bag. They said the man received a citation for speeding and failing to wear a seatbelt. He also received a misdemeanor summons for illegal marijuana and was released from the scene.
Hey, let him go.
Yeah, he let him go.
There you go.
So he do have to go to court for it, but you know he let him go home because I mean, like you said, Steve, that's punishment. Like you damn near died over this sack of weed.
Yeah. This is gonna be hilarious when they play the video back in court.
Bruh. Yeah. Like
son, what was you thinking here?
What did you like really? Like, can you imagine like trying to explain that to his mama? Like go through the story, explain it to your mama. Like, I was speeding, and then my initial thought was I got this weed in the car. Let me swallow the sack. You're stupid.
Chances are he wasn't even going. Probably even search the car.
Right, you're
wasn't
speeding.
Gonna find the sack. He was just gonna get you for speeding. Yeah. So
yeah.
Unless he been sitting in the car smoking it, but obviously.
Oh well, in that case.
Yeah,
that's your ass, Mr. Postman.
Right. But still, though, it's like, bro, if you have it in the car, like, either throw it out somehow. First off, just don't speed.
Man, he had to get home.
Like, bro, like you're going 94 in a 70 mile per hour zone. Yeah. Like some people drive fast.
I can tell you right now, he wasn't smoking it going 94.
Nah, he couldn't. He couldn't. Nah.
You're not doing that. But this nigga going 94 miles per hour, shirtless with no seatbelt on.
Yeah.
With the weed in the car. Bro, you hot as hell. You need to chill out.
Talking about hot boy summer. Goodness gracious, man.
Like you tripping for real, bro.
Hard. Yeah. As the officer, you got to be like, WTF, man.
That's what I'm saying. Like when you see him speed past him, I'm sure he was like, the hell?
Right.
Like, you didn't see me? Like I'm in a state trooper car.
Oh,
you did not see me. But
that's crazy. Well, shout out to that officer, man, for actually saving that guy's life.
Mm-hmm.
And stuff
he
like
knew the Heimlich.
Right. So shout out to him for saving his life and doing what he needed to do on that one. But that's all I got, man, for this week in the news, man. Hopefully I ain't take y'all too long, take too much of your time. But no, man, it's been an interesting week. So I'm gonna shoot it over to Steve, man. Let's get it.
Yeah, man. Good top fives, good news. So now we're going to hop into it, man. So this topic, as we said at the beginning of the episode, came from Ola. Shout out to Ola off in Nashville doing his thing. Make sure y'all check out the podcast that we had with him. Great interview. But he brought up the importance of characters in hip hop. This was very interesting because we know there are characters, but we never just sat down and realized, the importance of having those distinct characters in hip hop. Also that people even play, even kind of had those characters, or that there were similar characters around, and what made people, and that was the underlining that made a lot of people stars, like say a Busta Rhymes, or say a Ludacris, or say a Jay-Z, just kind of defining their character, their place in the game. So today we're going to be talking about that. We're going to have some fun with it, talking about the importance, the meaning behind having characters. Does this make people stars? And we're just going to have fun with it, man. We're going We're gonna have some fun with it. So get ready. And I started off with the definition of character, which is it could be a bevy of things. Which two definitions that stuck out to me was one was a person's. Oh, sorry about that. My computer. This was not there first. One thing that stuck out to me was the mental and moral qualities distinct to an individual. And then the other part is, the person that is being, the person in a novel, play, or movie. So, with that being said, if you look at hip hop and the distinction, I think both of those definitions fit completely, because for some people it is a complete movie or novel of their lives, or, they're just playing a character. Whereas some people, is actually them, their mental, their actual persona. So let's get into it, man. Let's talk about the importance of having characters in hip hop. Not just characters in hip hop, but I guess characters in, any genre that defines a person and separates them from the pack, that takes them to that next level. So man, let's hop into it, man. So we got the definition out. We got the topic out. So let's do it. So first off, man, the importance. What do y'all think, man? Is it very, very, now that it's been brought to our attention, is this like I don't want to say the secret to you becoming that star in the game, but is this one of those pieces of the puzzle that an artist must have to make it to that next level? What you think, G?
I think so, man. Ever since we had that conversation with I've started to look at, like, I guess specifically hip hop. I guess you could expand it to different genres as well, and just music in general. But specifically in hip hop, I started to think of hip hop as like a television series, and like every single artist is like a character on that television series. And so, it used to be a way that there'd be like a main character, and then you got like side characters, and then that's pretty much the show. But as shows have progressed over the years, you kind of have several main characters in a series. And it may be like, this season we focusing on this person, this season we focusing on that person. And I feel like that kind of is what hip hop is molded around. When you think about the story of hip hop from the inception point to like now, you can think of it in different seasons and eras. You can say in this era, this person was the main character. In this era, these people were the main character, or this was the main topic type of thing. Because like, it may not necessarily be just a person. So for instance, you might have like the Biggie Tupac era, where it's like their feud and their battle of like the East Coast, West Coast thing is like the central focusing point for hip hop. And then you might have like the trap era, where you got like trap music is like the focus of hip hop. And then within that focus, you got different characters, people like T.I., people like Jeezy, people like Gucci Mane, who have like established themselves as, you got to pay attention to us this season. Like, our story is important for the advancement of hip hop as a series. And then you got other people where it's like, they can come in for a second and then they can leave. Kind of like how characters do on movies or on TV shows. Like, you might have somebody come in and you be like, oh yeah, I remember that character right there. They was only on there for this season. Or like, they was on there for this season and then that person got killed off because the fans didn't react to them that way. Yeah. And not necessarily like killed off, because I know that's kind of sensitive as far as people dying. But like, people don't be on the show no more. Like specifically, I thought of Chameleon there. Like, you got like Riding Dirty. This nigga's like on top of the world for a second, and then he kind of like fades out of the spotlight. That don't mean that he don't exist no more and that he can't show up again on the show, on the series of hip hop. But it means that he not necessarily the focus no more, because he does pop up again in different things. Like, he on I know for sure he was on a Crit song when I was listening to Crit, when Crit first came out, called Time Machine. And I was like, damn, Chameleon here. Where the fuck he come from? I remember this nigga. But it's like when you see an old character on a series reoccur, come up, and you be like, damn, I remember that, man. I forgot he was even on this show. I thought they was done with that character. But now he back. And so that's how I kind of been looking at it ever since we had that conversation with It's just like looking at hip hop as like a series, and then each artist is just a character in the series, and their importance varies.
Man, I don't know how you get much better than that.
That's a hell of an analogy, bro.
that was to me spot on. Tommy T, man, you got something to add?
I want to say right now, today is not necessary, but then again, after listening to Greg's analogy, I was like, damn, it is necessary, in a sense of what part of the series you're in, Like I think about Meek Mill is one that comes up, and my take on the whole character thing was you have the name Meek Mill. He got it from Rameek. That's his real name. Mm-hmm. But it's like for me in their music and his music, how closely is he rapping about his life and how different from his life to, his actual music, like how different is it? You know what I'm saying? And those are when I think of a character or something, I think of somebody playing a role. Mm-hmm. And when it's like, really not a role, but your name is not your real name, then it's like, how much of a character does this play? Like you think of, go back, you think of Flavor Flav. Like that was a character to me.
Definitely.
Busta Rhymes was a character to me, but because of what he was rapping about, you brought up Ludacris. Ludacris' name was just, that was the character. But what he was rapping about was like, I felt like was what his life was about. And so that's the thing for me when it comes to thinking about having those characters. Like you think about wrestling, and I know this is completely off guard, but my favorite wrestler, Ultimate Warrior, that was the character. But this man was actually wrestling. Like, we know that some of the moves are fake and some of them are over exaggerated and stuff like that, but they're really actually wrestling. When you break down to the actual action of what they're doing. And so some rappers, for me, like you think about Weird Al, what the fuck was he rapping about or singing about or making these songs about? That was a character.
Yeah.
In the art and in like my name, even though that was his actual name. But to be successful, I think you do have to have some type of, to kind of piggyback off of your analogy, your role in the series of where we are, in time, because the rappers of today could not be successful back then. In the 80s, you couldn't be successful because what's the song? Curtis, was it Curtis Blow? Don't push me. No, it wasn't Curtis Blow. It was like, God, who's that rap group, man? They was like, don't push me because I'm close to the edge.
I don't know who that is.
I can't remember who it was. It's one of the Funky Five or they had it like the 80s rappers all had characters. Mm-hmm. But some of them were rapping about like, what's God Lee, man? I wish I knew the name. And I'm watching the video in my head right now.
Mm-hmm. I see it too. Because they in the ghetto.
I think it was Curtis Blow. It's like, God.
It's Grandmaster Flash.
Furious Five.
Furious Five and Grandmaster Flash.
The message. Yeah.
Yeah, the message. That's what I'm talking about. Like, so that was like their everyday life, and that was real for them, but then you have a lot of them were just rhyming, Sugar Hill Gang, hip hop, a hip to the hip hop, they just up here rhyming. The Sugar Hill Gang was a character. They fit a mold because when hip hop was first started, it started from like those parties, from a DJ, like doing everything. And you had somebody that would help keep the party going.
I got a question, man. I got a question that's coming to mind, like, as I'm listening to you, Tommy, because I agree, like, those are characters that people are creating, even in those different eras. But, like, what makes a character resonate with the audience, like the hip hop audience, versus a character that doesn't resonate with the hip hop audience? Because first of all, I guess I got to figure out who the hell doesn't. Like
Right.
who came out and then just kind of disappeared, and we was like, oh yeah, that didn't work. And like what makes somebody stick around? I feel like some of it is how relatable it is. And so like when you talk about Grandmaster Flash and Furious 5, it's like they rapping about something that a lot of people at that time were familiar with.
Right.
They were like, oh shit, this is our life. Like even when you watch documentaries and they talk about that song and what it meant to the culture, they like, yeah, that was like our real life. They talking about like what's going on for real. Like this ain't just partying no more. That kind of thing. And so, and like I think about Nas is kind of like that as well, where he kind of rapping about like what's going on outside his window, that kind of thing. And he just kind of telling you his story, going back to what Steve said earlier, it was written. And he just kind of telling you his story on that classic album. And it's something that people can listen to and be like, they can like place themselves in the story. And so it seems like it goes with the series, I guess. It seemed like it should be in the series, in the natural progression of the series. It's not some super hard left turn that you be like, why the fuck they put this in?
Yeah.
Right. Now, man, like I don't know what makes it, outside of it being them being able to say, hey, that's how my life is too. But I don't know what makes it resonate with the people that aren't a part of that lifestyle. You know what I'm saying?
That's a whole different question. I ain't even thinking about that. Like, we gonna skip that for now. We're gonna leave them out and stick with like the people that's in it, the people that's a part of it. Because the people that's not, that's like the extended audience in my opinion. It's like they find out about the show through somebody else, and then now they come in and try to pick up on what's going on. But then you got other people who like they've been with the show since it started, and then like telling everybody since they saw the show start.
I just thought about this, man, and Greg, I already know I can see it in your face when I say this. Bow Wow is a caricature. Bow Wow and Soulja Boy. I'm not gonna take anything away from them because I think they definitely brought in a new era, you know, during their time of reign. But I think those, like, especially Bow Wow now, it's like he's trying to live up to a certain status or a certain look when he doesn't have to. You know what I'm saying? And that's like, for me, that's more of the negative side of a character when it comes to hip hop. You know, you're trying to live up to what you basically is the popular thing in the genre of music that you listen to today. You know, like, oh, I get girls, I smoke weed, I do this and I do that, and I'm all about this and I'm all about that. But then when it's not genuine or when it's not real, or you can tell when somebody's trying too hard. And that's what it, for me, that's what it looks like for Bow Wow.
Yeah.
You know, he's trying extremely too hard, and it's like, you don't have to.
So I'm gonna try to sum this.
Man, go ahead.
I think when we get to, I think what makes, to answer G's question, I think what makes it, you know, that person's, when people start to invest in that character, I think the key word is invest. They like you, they see what you're doing. And it may be because it's really, really relatable, or it may be that you're just that damn good that people are like, yeah, I'm rocking with him. Because we do have some, you know, you do have artists who rap about stuff that they never lived. You have some artists that rap about specifically their life, and that kind of goes along with the definition of a character, a person in a novel or a movie, which is kind of what Tommy was talking about. And I think at some point, you know, we break it down to almost like method acting. Like, for example, Heath Ledger in Batman when he played the Joker. I think at some point, some people can get so deep into the character, say a Bow Wow, that eventually, where's the difference between the entertainer and Bow Wow? And sometimes there is no difference. And then you're like, wow, this is really you. And it's kind of sad because most of the time in entertainment, it's just a glorified, it's just a turned up hype version of who you really are.
Yeah.
Take a Tekashi 6ix9ine. He's definitely playing a character in his music, and you know, you dial that up to 100, but then when you don't know how to back off out of that, then what happens? That's when I think the destruction and the problem happens, because a lot of people were invested in Tekashi. He was pretty big, and then, you know, stuff happened, and then you saw a different side. So I think there is a part of it where, all right, when real life and the acting catches up versus someone that is actually, you know what I'm saying, in the novel part of the acting that really lives this type of life, that is like, yo, this is just everyday life. And it's not always a good thing or a bad thing. This isn't about someone being fake or someone being real. Because as we can see, Pooh Shiesty really lives what he talks about. But, you know, where is Pooh at the moment?
YFN Lucci. Another one.
Yeah, you know, and that stuff can catch up with you. Yeah, we can keep going, names and names. But if you talk about, like, if we look at someone like Pac, who, you know, ultimately timely came to his end of living this character, but then seeing that, you know, in his past, you know, he was in like acting school and he could do so many great things that you can either come to your end or you can come to like someone like Jay-Z, who has Jay-Z or Snoop, who was able to transition over to something different, you know, now into a different character, kind of say, you know, like a lot of people, for example, a lot of people say that Nicolas Cage, the actor that plays John Wick, like I've heard
that's Keanu Reeves, right?
Keanu Reeves. Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah. My bad. I've heard that, and I forgot who said it exactly, but they were saying that's the only character he knows how to play. And if you look at like Neo, John Wick, Constantine, like that's the only character he knows how to play. And it's like, dang, when can you but when you have an actor who can transition into this new character, say a Will Smith who can play a bevy of characters, and then you have this longevity. I kind of relate that back to like a Snoop, who Snoop came in the game. Snoop was a real gangster in the game, but now he's like the playful Uncle Snoop and transition over to that. Same thing to Jay, you know, ultimate drug dealer who is now the ultimate investor, you know. So, you know, some things.
And maybe that's just a character arc. Yeah. It's like it's not necessarily they turn it into somebody, a different character. It's just the character matures with them and it changes form. And you're like, oh, okay, I remember when this character was like this, and now they done came a long way. Like now they this person. Yeah, okay.
Because there's definitely still aspects of that original there. Like we're forever going to see Will Smith as a Fresh Prince, but when you watch him in 7 Pounds, that's a whole different. You know, that's the growth, you know, from that to there. So same thing in the music industry. You see a lot of people that will grow into something different, like a Snoop or a Jay-Z, even Ludacris, even though he doesn't rap as much now, he's more in the acting world. Then like someone like a Bow Wow or a Soulja Boy that looks like they're still trying to live out whatever that was, you know?
Yeah.
So I think it's tons of characters. I think the whole thing about the seasons makes perfect sense. And I think both of y'all were spot on there. And just kind of answer G's question, you know, about what makes a character appealing. Because most people are just coming in as themselves. They're not playing a character until they get dialed up. And it's the crowd or the audience who turns these artists into character. So, you know, my next question is, you know, first off, we talked about the importance. So the next thing I wanted to kind of go into is like, all right, with this type of control, because we have seen people self-destruct from it, trying not to be this person to the crowd, to the audience. How much do you think that the control lies with, you know what I'm saying, the fan base? Like, hey, we're forever going to see Bow Wow as Lil Bow Wow, right? But Bow Wow is trying his best to show us that he's grown. And So is Soldier Boy. He's trying his best to show him how gangster he is. But yet we're still going to look at y'all as these two people. Like, should the fan base have that much control and driving of keeping you in this box, and not just Bow Wow and Soldier Boy? Like, I've often said this about Ross. We always say that Ross gets on these classical beats, but then when he gets on or tries to do other things, it works, but not as much as, say, a Maybach Music record versus, something different, So is should the fan base have as much control in dictating characters?
I would say that it goes hand in hand, just because if you didn't have people listening to you or rocking with what you putting out, you become irrelevant. You know what I'm saying? But it starts from the beginning. Like I feel like I'm picking on him, but I'm not. It's just like with Bow Wow. Bow Wow started off as a child star, and then he went into acting, and then all of a sudden Bow Wow smoking weed. Like, where did that come from? It's like his character or his, the idea of Bow Wow was as a child. But then when you have to realize, like, yeah, he grew up just like we did. Mm-hmm. Like, we're not singing about the, I don't even remember his songs from back then, but about the girl and stuff like that. We're not rapping about that and stuff. And even if he came out with a song like that, it's like, nah. But his transition into adulthood, it looks as if, bro, you still out here playing games. You still out here in the mindset of a child, but you fucking 34 years old. You know what I'm saying? Most 34-year-olds, or the ones that I know, either have a wife, are dating, or, just out here getting their money, or they have a family. Mm-hmm. They have kids, and, you look at it differently, but it's like, man, you still out here playing that game, playing that role, that you're trying to maintain or whatnot. At some point, man, because it's on my mind, Keanu Reeves was Ted in Bill and Ted.
Yeah, I know.
So that's a completely different role, but that's the thing, man. I just, I think
another word.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, as in other words, at some point, you have to grow up.
Yeah.
Even if someone, and even if someone views you the way they view you, you have to grow up. And that, bro, that actually gave me a thought before I let G hop in, put his take on that question. That brought up something, because I was like, okay, out of the three, Soulja Boy, Bow Wow, and I don't know, we haven't mentioned them yet, but Romeo. Out of those three, I see Romeo as the one that actually found a way to transition completely. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And we don't really look at Romeo as Lil Romeo. We kind of look at Romeo as someone who has, grown up in a sense. Because at one point, Romeo could have went to the NBA.
Yeah.
If he stayed with UCLA and continued that passion. But between those three, you kind of, I look at those, and we to a point we could put Omarion in there too, because kind of those three were kind of the three kids of that generation that, but talking about Bow Wow, talking about Soulja Boy, I was like, dang, who transitioned the best? And then the name that came to my mind was Romeo, even though we wasn't talking about him at all. So it's very interesting that, it is hard for child stars, but it's very interesting to see the mental of a child star who can't grow up, to a sense. G, what's your, you want to add in something on that? What's your take on all that?
Yeah.
Super interesting.
I'm trying to keep track of everything that you were saying. I kind of forgot the first part now.
That's the fans.
What you initially asked.
That's what it is. Control.
Yeah. Should the fans have so much? Yeah. Okay. Let's get to that first. All right. So as far as the fans having so much control over like the character arc of an artist, I don't know if that's been the case for a very long time. Mm-hmm. I was talking to Allison about it a little bit earlier because she was like, some people are able to kind of, retract from the spotlight and kind of grow at their own pace without people really seeing what's going on. One of the people she mentioned is Beyonce. And so like, when I think about Beyonce's character arc coming from Destiny's Child to like where she is now, it's like you get little snapshots of who she is and they're spaced out. And so you'll get like, all right, I'm here. And then it's like, you think of Beyonce this way. And then you see another thing, like a couple years later, you see another body of work. And it's like, oh, dang, this is where Beyonce is now. I kind of think of it the same way, like if you have cousins or somebody who live out of town that you don't see that often.
Yeah.
So like you might see your cousin, like if your cousin grow up down the street from you, you don't see it the same way. You don't see them grow up the same way. You feel like they just kind of the same person. But when your cousin is out of town or a relative is out of town, or even like a niece or nephew or something, like you might see them folks every couple months. And every time you see them, you're like, damn, you done grew so much. Like, damn, last time I saw you was only this tall and da-da-da. And now you doing this, you doing that. And it's like you playing catch up every time you see a new installment of that person. And it goes with your timeline in your head. Like, yeah, that makes sense. I ain't seen them in this long, so it makes sense that they be here now. And so with the artists, as far as their growth and development, it's like, you kind of got to find the balance of giving people parts of yourself and try not to do it all at once. And also try not to let them see the whole process. Because when they see the whole process, like I said, your cousin that live next door to you, you don't really see the process because you growing with them and you seeing stuff at the same time. So you don't see it the same way. So I think that the reason that has existed for very long is because social media has become a monster. Like we see everything. Like we get a play-by-play every day of everybody. Like yesterday, Allison was basically virtually attending Cardi B's daughter's birthday party. And I was like, nigga, like you in that hoe. Like, you for real there. You seeing the whole thing. She like, that's the same Princess Tiana I saw when I was at Disney World. Like how she get her up there? And I'm like, why do you even know this? Like how can you even be privy to this information? This ain't got shit to do with nothing. But it does. Like it's you get to see it in real time and you get to see like what Cardi B doing this day, what she doing that day. And it's probably not a time that she missing days of like showing the world a part of herself. Yeah. And that's just kind of how artists are now. Like they show you something from them like all time. Or even if you want to like relate it close to home, like niggas get to see us once a week. Like Speaker Geekers podcast, they can see us once a week. And so it's like we gonna grow in between them weeks. And so they'll be like, oh, okay, last week they was on this. And they tracking it over like the last 87 episodes. They'd be like, yeah, we can see the growth, that kind of thing. But imagine if we did this every day. If we did this every day, it would be different. You probably wouldn't see no change. You'd be like, yeah, that's still the same person. Like, I haven't seen much growth, even though it has been growth. You haven't really experienced it the same way. So, like, that's that part of the question. And what was the next part of the question you asked, Steve? I forgot.
Oh, yeah. Tommy had, he was bringing up Bow Wow and how it seems like he hasn't grown at all. And you may have just touched on it of why it seems that way or seems why he's stuck, where he's at. But I brought up that to say that, when I looked at Bow Wow and Soulja Boy, because that's who we mentioned as far as, being those, not just because they had a verse, but being those two that we probably see the most of, and that was kind of the child stars in hip hop. I was like, dang, out of both of them, who transitioned better? And the crazy thing was, it was neither one. The name that came up in my mind was Romeo, you know? And, I think you already answered it because you was like, Romeo went off to college and started playing ball. I was like, whoa, Romeo can ball?
Exactly. Like we didn't know.
Yeah. But Soulja Boy and Bow Wow, they was just still music the entire time. And even though Bow Wow can act, it seemed like he didn't take the acting serious. He just focused more on the music, wanted people to accept him on that part, But I think you hit the nail on the head. Like, I think Bow Wow Romeo went off to show us different things of like how he could hustle, not just music, but how he could do other things. Like at a point, Romeo's going to NBA. until he decided to go another route into a different passion. So now I think you already hit the nail on the head with that. But if you want to add some more, go ahead.
No. I think that's fine.
I wanted to point something out because I feel like when we think about characters and everything, I think we can't forget about Busta Rhymes.
No, absolutely not.
Because Woo-Ha got you all in check was a complete show. You know what I'm saying? That's it went along with his persona. That's the word I've been looking for this whole time. Went along with his persona and the person that he was trying to present to the world. Mm-hmm. Look at Me Now doesn't work if we didn't get Woo-Ha. Got you. I know that's not the name of the song, but that's what I think the name of the song is Got You All. I don't know what the name is. Or Pastor Cavassier. Mm-hmm. Doesn't Look at Me Now doesn't work if we don't get that body of work and who that's from. Mm-hmm. Because that verse in Look at Me Now, as fast as it was, as animated as it was, mm-hmm. That's the grown up Busta Rhymes from the 90s. Yeah. You know, but that's what we're looking for. His album Extinction Level 2 that just recently came out, I want to say last year or the year. Yeah, last year. It doesn't work if we doesn't get Extinction Level 1, the song with Janet Jackson. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like that character, if you look at that video, that's why videos was so important back then, because it allowed mm-hmm. people to actually see the person or the character that they're trying to present to the world. And that's the thing that I was thinking about who it worked for, having this character and being able to transcend this character along through a luxurious career, because Busta Rhymes never stopped putting out music. It was a while before, between his last album and the one before it. It was a little while, but he continued to put out music, continued to work with people. And it just transcended the Busta Rhymes, the persona just transcended with time. And I think he did it one of the people to do it the best. We mentioned Snoop earlier. Mm-hmm. Again, same thing. You know, now Snoop is working with Martha Stewart and would be known as a weed smoking uncle who worked with this white woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And if you think about it, it's funny because if you think of Snoop right now, for somebody who knows Snoop as of now, like a kid who just is introduced to him, they'll never think that Doggy Style Snoop ever existed. They'll never be like, that was him. They're gonna see that and be like, this was Snoop Dogg talking like this.
Right. They'll probably never know that he was fighting a murder case. As well. Murder was the case, was the record. And also after that, pal, you got to add Ludacris. Acting star. But if you don't have Throw Them Bows and the character that he played in his music, you probably don't get to that. Or Missy Elliott for say.
Ice Cube
as well. Ice-T.
Yeah.
We can really keep going. Or even Bun B, he's a professor at a university. Right. T.I. as well.
Yeah, go listen to Let Me See It and then come back and remember that.
Yeah, absolutely. You got class with this man in the morning. And
right.
Mm-hmm. But we're coming close to the end of the show, but one more question I want to throw in there because we kept bringing it up. And this is another part that that we got to throw in there. With the emergence of social media, I believe G brought it up, and then Tommy also brought up the fact that there were videos and interviews seem to be the only way we would see artists back in the day. But with the emergence of social media, does that make it harder for these for artists to figure out their character? Because one, there's so much influence. You got 1,000 people that sound like Future, which you can tell that they're easily influenced by that. And even if they're successful at sounding like them, they don't last. Like G said, you have some people that come and they go. It's social media and the internet too. Is that making it tough for artists to find that find themselves essentially?
Yep.
Why would you say so, Tommy? Because I agree with you. I just want to hear why you say so.
I think it's like people are trying to figure out the image of a successful rapper. Like you take what comes to mind is CB4. It's that image of this is what rappers do, or this is how rappers, live. So I got to live this life. This is what I got to present on social media all the time. Like a Fresh Prince, DJ Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince wouldn't be successful today, because they're not the image of how rappers look today or what rappers rap about today. Because you think about it, which is one of the topics we're going to talk about in the coming weeks, is how sexualized hip hop is or hypersexual the genre of music is, you know what I'm saying? So, or people that smoke weed, like Toby, his music resonates a lot with me. I'm gonna mess up his last name, so I ain't gonna say it. His music resonates a lot with me because it took me so long to realize he doesn't cuss in his music. You know what I'm saying? It took me I had been listening to him for at least a year, saw him twice in person, and was like, damn, he don't cuss in his music. Like, that's impressive to me because all the music that we're listening to today has cursing in it. Like you don't find rap that's a anomaly. Is that the word I'm looking for? Like that's special.
Probably, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Today, because you don't find music like that. Like it was back in the 90s and in the 80s, you would find more rappers that didn't curse. Or it was more radio cuts of the songs.
With them ugly ass words they throw in there.
Right. And you're like, why is this here? Or they just cut it out completely. Go ahead.
I think that's one of the reasons definitely that social media is making it harder for people to curate their characters the same way. Because one, like I said, it's just the demand. People just demand, fans are demanding so much from artists nowadays. They need to see you all the time. You got to come out here and we got to see that you exist. If we don't see it, then it basically don't exist. Is basically how it is now. Yeah. But I think that there is still a sweet spot of letting yourself be seen, but then also not giving too much of yourself. Even using Toby as an example, Toby has a character, for real. It's solidified at this point. It's you got this guy, he's from the South, he's from Houston, Texas, from Southwest A-Lee, Texas. Then he's got his wife, he's got his kids, he's got his sisters. They always wearing the same outfit. They damn near look like a cult. And you know who they are as soon as they come on screen. They put out visuals all the time. Mm-hmm. Like you said, that's very important. And it's still very important for people to see you. But it's they do a good job of carefully giving you images of themselves. It's not just the picture for the day. It's they know exactly what they finna give you, when they gonna give it to you, how it's gonna look, from what angle, all that shit. The same kind of stuff that people used to do back in the day, with how they would present an artist to the world. You would have them in a cover of Vibe magazine or something like that. And that's all you get from them till the album. You don't get shit else. And then you get the rollout of the album. Then you get to see interviews and maybe some more magazine covers and shit. And then you get your album. And then they disappear for a little bit of time. Yeah. And then you got people who do that to the extreme. We say Kendrick Lamar all the time. We talk about how he just has disappeared from the public eye. Or if you want to go even more extreme than that, a Frank Ocean, who just fuck this shit. I don't even exist no more. Y'all don't even, I'm just a myth, a legend that people keep saying happened, but we don't know for sure if that really even happened. Did Channel Orange really come out? We don't even know. It's just because you ain't heard nothing from this man in so long, but that's his character. His character is he's this spacey myth figure where you is this nigga actually real? Or did he or was that even real? Did we see that? Yeah. That kind of thing. But people just fall into their character in different ways. And social media is just, it changed the game. That's all I can say. That sounds so bland and garbage, but it's it really changed the game.
Yeah. Absolutely. A couple names we can throw in there, man. Travis Scott, Tyler the Creator. I think
Yes.
And King Push, man, Pusha T as well. I think we can throw in that pot as some significant characters within the hip hop. So man, characters. I guess we concluded that it's very important. It's very
much
important to distinctly to make you. And we're not saying characters in a negative way. Pretty much, I think Tommy had the perfect word, your persona. The thing that makes you are where you fit in this game. So, man, shout outs to everyone that is doing incredible at displaying who they are in their way in this hip hop game. So, man, Tommy, man, go ahead, man. I think that's all I got. Take us out, dog.
All right, I got it, man. Hey, once again, thank you guys for listening to another episode of the Speaker Geekers podcast. If you haven't already, please go subscribe to the YouTube channel. Also, subscribe to us wherever you listen to podcasts. Also, if you haven't, please go follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Speaker Geekers Podcast. Also, you can follow me on Instagram at I am Tommy T the Third. You got Greg at instantly_G, and you got Steve at the Great Steve-O Steve. Yeah, man, let us know what you think about characters in hip hop today. Is it important and why? So leave a comment down on the post in the YouTube video, or just reach out to us individually. We don't mind. We love to hear the comments and your opinion. Did I miss anything, guys? Or you guys want to say anything before we go ahead and get out of here?
Hey, what's Plaid's character?
Oh my God,
freaky ass little brother.
Freaky ass little brother.
Right. Comedian. That's what it is.
At this point, yeah.
Oh, that's too funny. I'm like Kirk Franklin stunt double. Anyway, that being said, man, I'm out, man. Peace.
Peace.
Peace out.